The alarm never should have gone off that early, and Haroon certainly never planned to return to the hospital before sunrise. But sometimes fate brings a man exactly where he needs to be, at the exact second that everything begins to fall apart. As he pushed open the heavy glass door of Murad General Hospital, the faint smell of disinfectant hit him, cold and sharp. The hall lights flickered in long white beams across the floor, and the early morning sun spilled only half into the lobby, painting the place in a strange mixture of peace and fear. And in that moment, before he even reached the elevator, Haroon felt it, a tug in his chest, a sense that something was wrong, deeply, terribly wrong. A son always knows when his mother is in danger. If you believe in kindness, forgiveness, and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Light of Kindness. It truly helps us continue creating stories that touch the heart. Haroon had left the hospital only 5 hours ago, sitting by his mother's side until the nurses gently urged him to get some rest. His mother, Rahima, was 72, gentle as warm sunlight, and the only person who had remained by his side through all the storms of his early life. A stroke had brought her here yesterday, sudden, frightening, and leaving Haroon with a terror he couldn't shake. But she had shown small signs of improvement, and he had clung to that hope like a lifeline. As the elevator doors slid open, Haroon noticed something strange. The light above his mother's room number was flashing. His heart jumped. He walked faster, his steps echoing down the corridor until he turned the corner and froze. His wife Zara stood at the door of his mother's room, whispering something to a nurse. Her voice was sharp, impatient, almost angry. The nurse looked uneasy. The door was slightly open, and Haroon saw his mother inside, her breathing shallow, the heart monitor flickering. Something was wrong. He stepped forward. Quietly, hearing only a fragment of Zara's voice, "Just increase the dose. She's in too much pain. It will calm her down." The nurse hesitated, saying something Haroon couldn't hear. But Zara insisted, her tone firm and dismissive. That was when Haroon noticed the chart in the nurse's hand. Medication adjustments, higher than last night, much higher. His pulse thundered. "Zara," he said, voice low but steady. She turned, startled, her eyes widening like a child caught doing something forbidden. "Oh, you're early." Haroon's gaze shifted from her to the chart, then to his mother's fragile body. "What are you doing?" Zara stepped away from the nurse, her expression tightening. She was restless. She needed something stronger. "No," Haroon said. "You don't make decisions like that. You're not a doctor, and you're not supposed to interfere." The nurse gently excused herself, leaving the two alone. Haroon walked into the room, his eyes fixed on his mother's pale face. He touched her hand. It was colder than usual. The fear in him tightened like a rope being pulled too hard. "She's weaker," he whispered. Zara followed him, her arms crossed. "She's old, Haroon. This is part of it." Something inside him snapped. Not anger, but a chilling realization that had been building for months. Zara had never liked Rahima, never accepted her, always saw her as an obstacle between them. And Haroon had always brushed it aside, thinking it was just personality differences. But now, watching Zara hover near the medications, insisting on stronger doses, avoiding eye contact, the truth began to bleed through. He stepped out to call the doctor immediately. Within minutes, Dr. Shan arrived, reviewed the chart, frowned deeply, and asked which staff had approved the changes. When the nurse hesitantly admitted Zara's insistence, the doctor's expression darkened. "This dosage is unnecessary," he said. "It could have slowed her heart. She must not receive anything without my authorization. Please, keep family members from influencing treatment. This is dangerous, dangerous." The word hit Haroon like a hammer. Zara's face went pale. "I was only trying to help." But Haroon wasn't looking at her anymore. He was looking at the doctor, his mother, and the terrifying truth that had just been revealed. Her honesty surprised him. It softened something inside him, something that had been clenched tightly for days. He took a slow breath. Zara, I love you, but loving you doesn't mean abandoning my mother, and protecting my mother doesn't mean abandoning you. Zara lifted her eyes. Then teach me, help me understand. I want to fix this. For the first time, Haroon believed her, not because her words were perfect, but because her fear was real, and sometimes healing begins not with apologies, but with truth spoken from a trembling heart. He nodded slowly. We'll take it one step at a time. She wiped her tears and managed a small, hopeful smile. They walked into Rahima's room together. For the first time in months, Zara approached her mother-in-law gently, asking if she needed anything, adjusting her pillow, speaking softly. Rahima observed her with a knowing, forgiving gaze, and in that quiet, sunlit moment something shifted. Not magically, not instantly, but honestly, a beginning, a chance, a doorway to healing. As the days passed, Rahima regained enough strength to leave the hospital. Haroon walked beside her wheelchair toward the exit, while Zara pushed gently from behind. The hospital doors opened to warm daylight, and for the first time the world felt bright, calm, full of second chances. Rahima looked at both of them and whispered, "Life always tests hearts that are capable of great love." Haroon felt a lump form in his throat. He looked at Zara and she held his hand. They had a long road ahead, filled with conversations, counseling, healing, but they were willing. Before the screen fades, dear viewer, if this emotional story touched your heart even a little, please support Light of Kindness by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. It truly helps our family grow. Special request, please comment a heart emoji if you believe every relationship deserves understanding and a second chance. And so, beneath the warm daylight outside the hospital, a son saved his mother, a wife faced her fears, and a family that was breaking slowly began to mend, proving that love, when honest, can heal even the deepest wound.